From crazy wildfires to a pandemic that nobody will ever forget to police brutality, 2020 has been a crazy year so far, as I think everybody can agree. Cursed, crazy, one thing after another are some ways that people have explained it so far. This year has honestly brought out the worst in people. Over the next few minutes, I'll be talking about something that should not have ever happened, and because of the ways that people have handled it by not giving up on finding justice for this man, has brought attention to police brutality for the better. The death of George Floyd is one thing that happened this year that will change the world forever. Police brutality has always been an issue, but this one specific death that should not have happened has caused riots, protests, and people fighting for justice for this man. George Floyd was not resisting arrest, nor was he hostile or violent in any way towards the officers. A store employee called 911 on Floyd because he bought cigarettes with a fake $20 bill. Being a new employee, he was not aware that Mr. Floyd was a regular customer, and he was just following protocol. According to BBC News, the first officer that was on scene was Thomas Lane, and he approached Floyd's car, drew his gun, and ordered Floyd to show his hands. It is not clear why Lane felt he should have drawn his gun to begin with, so he already started the arrest in an uncomfortable and hostile environment. And then it started to escalate. A struggle started to pursue once the officers tried to put Floyd in the squad car. Floyd fell to the ground and told the officers he was claustrophobic. While he's on the floor is whenever Mr. Chauvin put his knee between his neck and his head and kept it there for 7 minutes, 46 seconds, killing Mr. Floyd. The officers mocked and told him to stop talking as he was telling them and pleading that he could not breathe. As much as he gasped for air, and as bystanders started to tell the officers that he could not breathe, Derek Chauvin did not release pressure off of his neck. Floyd said things like, "You're going to kill me, please, please, please," and "I can't breathe," but the officers didn't listen. The only acknowledgement he got while he was being murdered is his murderer telling him, "Then stop talking, stop yelling. It takes a heck of a lot of oxygen to talk." Officer Quang was convinced to check Floyd's pulse, and even after saying he could not find one, his partner did not get off of Mr. Floyd. After Floyd passed away, people believed that police officers did not get enough punishment for murder. They started protests, and the protests started off as peaceful, but police, as well as some people, started to make it violent. This turned some protests into riots. According to New York Times, there was protests in at least 140 cities, and the National Guard had been sent to at least 21 states. Officers were firing rubber bullets and using tear gas to stop protests, even the peaceful ones, and this is what made people want to start riots, want to destroy cities, and want to start to be violent. So a man got murdered by a police officer. Someone who was supposed to protect and serve killed a man that was pinned to the floor, unable to defend himself. George Floyd's death should have never happened. However, it has opened eyes to police brutality, and the fact that it happens more than we think is not okay. This man was killed over a counterfeit $20 bill, pinned to the floor, pleading, "I can't breathe," while a police officer kneeled on his neck, killing him. This should have never happened. This left a woman without a husband and a baby without a father, as well as the rest of his family and friends grieving his loss. George Floyd has a baby girl named Gianna, and there is a GoFundMe for her to have extra money for college and anything else she needs. So if you can, I'm sure every dollar is very much appreciated. Thank you.